VDC. Welcome back to another match day. We're on match day 8 today, and alongside me today is the co-host, the moderator, and the producer of today's stream, Saints. Say hi.
What's up, VDC? We're super excited to have a great Mythic matchup for you guys today. Two long-standing franchises going to duke it out here. Some of the best that we have to offer in VDC. So we're excited to see some high-level gameplay.
Finding it out here. Let's see. So today we have double tops or a TT Mythic team twice versus Kingdom Coffee or KC Latte. This is the Mythic tier, so this is the highest of highs one could go in. So we are excited to see some excellent gameplay. Or we might see some iron gameplay. Who knows? With a Mythic tier, you never know.
Absolutely. So we're just about ready to hop into the map bans, but first, Andy, why don't you tell me who are some of the players that are gonna maybe stand out today that you're gonna keep an eye on?
I think Raven, team captain of KC, and AGM of KC as well. So he's the team captain of Latte, and his won season 3 advance with LG. He was on, and then he moved over to KC in season 4, I believe. So I think he's a pretty good track record so far, and they did it. This is the team that made it to the finals last season. So if record speaks, they're gonna go for that final again.
All right, we're gonna jump into map bans here. I'm not sure if everybody's ready, but we're just gonna send it over and see how this goes.
So,
all right.
Latte, as they are the away team, will ban first. Then it's twice. Then Latte. Then twice. And then twice Fix, followed by Latte. We just ignore the last map. No one likes the last map. Last place is for losers. Map
Absolutely. Yeah.
Map
So.
ban,
Anyone who's new to VDC or doesn't really know exactly how this works, each match day, your team will play a best of 2, right? So unlike VCT, there's no best of 3s, there's no tiebreaker. That third map is just kind of out of there. You're playing 2 maps, and so
I would put this in layman terms as you're playing for map record, not for win-loss record.
Exactly. You are looking for a lot of round win percentage because that's going to be very important, especially with those tiebreakers later on into the season.
Of course. So in VCT, for example, when you play against a team and you win, you get 1, right? You get a 1 point in the W column. Here, it's you play for the map record. So everything's a bit more fair, And also, we play at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so we don't want those Eastern people to stay up too late, Those map 3s can usually take you past midnight sometimes. Speaking from experience, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like Bind is out of question. Not gonna see any teleport strats here tonight. KC opted to take it off.
Bind is one of my favorite maps, especially as a Viper player, because I can do some really weird stuff with the TPs and from wall. So I am in shambles right now. I'm on the floor crying, actually, if you couldn't tell. But we'll see what double house ban and response. They could be just, having a perma ban right now, or they just target. No, they're going to target ban. It looks like they're going to get rid of Sunset here. Not sure if Casey's map record on it, but it looks like Sunset hasn't been a very favorable map for some people.
Yeah, it's an interesting map for sure. It seems, especially at high level, it is very attack-sided. Very hard to hold on to that A site, and Cypher can make it a little bit more difficult on that B site, but a lot of the times it does seem like a battle of the attack side. Now we're going to see Ascent as the next ban coming out from KC, that traditional map. It's very controversial. A lot of players don't like it just because it's stale, it's been around forever. The Odin spam can get pretty annoying, but I personally enjoy Ascent. I think it's a classic map and one of the best.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree. Ascent GOAT map, especially as a Cajun player as well. If you couldn't tell, I could play Agent Set, have mollies.
Yeah, we know, Andy. Everyone in VDC knows. And it looks like the last map being banned is going to be Breeze. So now TT's in a pretty interesting position here as they get the first pick of the last 3 remaining maps. Icebox, what else we got on the table?
Icebox, Split,
Split.
and then what's the last map?
Lotus.
My brain. Oh, and Lotus.
And
oh,
the pick is gonna come out
Pico.
Lotus.
What, are you fortune teller?
Yup.
I think. No, I think just maybe twice listening in on us. You know, they heard the Lotus and just said, you know what, let's pick it. Let's pick it.
Absolutely. A 3-site map. And it looks like KC's going to round it off with Icebox. A bit of a more pubby style map. With a lot of...
Close quarters.
Definitely
I
interesting.
think-
Going to see what sides each of these teams are going to want to pick.
I think, and we see defense for KC on Lotus. So they're opting to start with a weaker first half, which is usually what Lotus is. It's a weaker. If you're on defense, it tends to be the hardest side to play around, but not always. And they want to have an easier second half on the attack. It looks like hit double taps choose
The attack side.
on Icebox. Yes, thank you. Lost the train of thought.
Yeah. All right. We're going to hop over to the desk. Tell me a little bit more about these teams as we go ahead and get the in-game overlay and everything set up. Tell me a little bit more about these teams and what you're expecting to see tonight as we roll on to Lotus first map.
Well, KC currently is at 7-7 with double taps here at 6-8. So these teams are relatively close in their map records right now, and this is basically the game that's going to be like. This is going to be the game that puts one or the other above each other, excluding round percentage. I don't know that currently, but we do have some players on how the how is here. She's the controller for double taps and is filling in as IGL/captain today, as her current one, Justin, is out today. So we'll see how the team can rally around her IGLing if she is. If she's not, then I'm sorry, I've made the wrong assumption. I'm just looking at the sheet they gave us, and there's only 3 people on here.
All right. Well, without any further ado, it looks like both teams are ready, and we're going to go and move on into our agent select.
Awesome. Let's take us in.
This should be exciting. There's a lot of really amazing players here tonight. Definitely a lot of talent on both sides. But let's see what kind of compositions they can pick up for this first map, Lotus. Obviously, we're already seeing a Raze, a Fade, KJ, and a double Sentinel coming out on the side of KC.
Well, Reflex, I think, is known, likes the Chamber, and I think Chamber's it's always a pretty good pick here. It's not the best. I think it's in KJ because her lockdown is just so valuable. The Chamber ain't a bad pick here, and I think they want the lockdown as well, so they're opting for a double Sentinel. And they chose defense first, so they're gonna have actually not so bad of a time on that side. Looks like double taps. We're hovering the double smokes, but they're opting to go instead for the double initiator instead. Omen as your only smokes for the team, which I mean is I think quite common. We've seen these types of variations on comps a lot actually. Like it's Omen, Breach, Sova. For Haven, for example, that was like your main 3 as for the team comp. Here it's Omen, Breach, Gecko, and it's also on like Sunset as well, where we have like teams opting for the double initiator as well. I think with the Viper nerfs that came out a couple of weeks ago, was it a couple of weeks ago? Almost like a month or now. It's been really pushing out this double controller meta. I don't think it isn't as viable anymore. But I am still a firm believer in double controller because if you can't see, if they can't see, they can't shoot.
I mean, that's true. I mean, the Viper nerfs were pretty rough, if I'm being honest. And I'm glad to see a shift away from Viper personally, but double Sentinel seems to be quite the jump. I mean, speaking as from someone who plays with a Chamber main on their team currently, Chamber can find insane value, but I mean, having to get rid of, they don't even have a flash agent besides the Omen Paranoia. It's gonna be really difficult for them to take fights other than those dry swings. So we'll see.
It looks like here we have both Sentinels actually playing C, which is quite odd. I thought they would be spread out, putting pressure towards both sides of the map because Sentinel Util is quite strong on holding it, these sites. But it looks like KC has opted instead to double hold it, and I think they made the right choice because we see a force act towards Mound already. And and Reflex gets his first pick
Insane.
on the Taco.
Absolutely.
Great shots by him.
It looks like they're just biding their time. Double taps, or twice, excuse me, still looking to pressure the C site, but it's going to be a tough one with those double Sentinel.
And here comes the flash, and did we see the entry? And just we go. But the mollies, and the nade as well. It's going to be the death. Lazy gets taken down by his own race. This ain't right. Vin trades back onto the Hatters here, and Reflex getting the pick onto high C, and it's all left onto Diego.
1v4. Gonna see what he can do as he's being swarmed from all sides. Not gonna be able to do much as they're gonna swarm him and take that first round for the side of KC. A great hold and a bit of a blender. Yeah, that self-nade, team nade is kind of gonna put a stop to any push that they were gonna have.
Look, all I'm saying is I don't think Lazy's very happy with Diego right now.
Absolutely not. That's going to be a tough one. It is the first round, so, you know, you can't get too in your head about it.
Of course, like, you know, it's one round. Who cares, right? It's first pistol. It can go anyway. But we do see that Twice is looking for a beast hit here. 5 members, pistol rush with a couple frenzies thrown in his zone. Here comes the stun. Can Raven hold this down?
Raven with the judge is going to go huge.
Gets 2 before it's taken down by Taco, and here is the site take. They do have the site, but are they going to look for the plant? And yes, they are. They're going to push into Link here to maybe catch a rotator coming from C.
I love this Gecko gameplay. Throwing the wingman as you're taking space with the rest of your team. Insane value. Gonna be able to catch out
Vin. Yes, they do. But it is a hard hold from KC here as they try to get the defuse. They do get half before that molly goes off, and here comes the push out. Oh, but Saw gets taken down. It is a 3v2 in favor of KC. Oh, and the trade's 1v1. Can Lazy do this? And yes, he does. Gets the frenzy kill onto Reflex, and it is a thrifty win for the side of Twice. 1-1 is now your score.
Absolutely. I think they identified that B is going to be that weaker site, and they were correct in their gamble as 3 players decided to push that A main, and there was no one there on B site other than Rav, and he was only able to get the one with the judge. Unfortunate showing, just overpowering. And the push, I love the push all the way into C, taking advantage of those rotates and kind of catching them out.
I mean, I guess that's the B side for you on 3-side maps at least, is where it's always super tight and there's lots of short angles that people can peek from. Well, they check Reflex here. Yeah, no, they don't. Reflex gets the pick onto Taco, but immediately traded by Lazy, and it is a 4v4 numbers even for the sides of both teams. Here comes the site take. Plant goes down. Will it get stopped? No, it doesn't. Molly's on bomb as well, so they are gonna have some great post plant. Looks like KC is looking for a hit from Link, and Vin gets Lazy gets the first pick onto Song, but Vin trades it out. But it's all down onto Raven here. Can he do it?
Raven in the 1v3. It's tough. He's gonna be able to find the first, but he's still the other 2 members of this TT side have big gun advantage against him, and the clock is ticking. Diego's just gonna find him out as Raven's trying to find a gun and make something happen, but not gonna go their way. Second round on the board for Twice. Keep wanting to say double taps.
Well, that is the franchise name, so you're still correct, but Twice is the team name. But it looks like Twice opting to full buy here after what was supposed to be KC's bonus. But now I think both teams having full rifles, but Vin opting to get a judge instead. You see that Reflex is probably has full headhunter bullets. Will he get the pick here like he did last time on pistol round? But immediately picked onto Diego.
Ooh, what
Diego
a flash.
picks off Vin, and Reflex just flashed off, and here comes the site take.
This
Diego,
hold is so difficult.
Here comes the wingman. Did he get one? Yes, he does. Onto Lazy. Poor Lazy. It's always getting picked. But Taco immediately trades, and it is a 3v3. Yes, 3v3. And I wonder how KC is going to play their retake here. Vin
A
Whoosh,
lot of
sorry.
aggressive space. It looks like they're gonna triple up on the CT side, and an eye's gonna come out and find them. But the paranoia to stop the push. The satchel over, not gonna find anything. High C gets a pick on his hog, and we're gonna see
Two.
Fade with the double kill. Now fighting it down. Hat is low. It is now an Omen v Omen, but Rav is
And the
sticking the
Omen-
defuse. The smoke's in the way. Oh!
Oh.
0.5 seconds left on the clock. Almost defused. The ninja was there. I saw the vision. But not
Hey,
quite.
his teammates, you saw those pings coming through. They did not want to let that defuse go through, and had got there just in time. It looks like Casey's back on another save. I don't think this defense pick gamble is working out for them. I say, in my opinion,
An unfortunate pick onto Vin early on to stop that C push. That util is so crucial in holding off that push onto the C side. But where it looks like both teams are going to be kind of gamble stacked toward this A side.
Oh, and Diego gets two, but we're getting traded out by the nade, and Taco picks a whoosh off, and it is just the A site left open. But Vin's pretty here with the stinger. Can he get something before? Wingman goes out to trade, and yet, does he get the kill? Oh, and the whiffs, unfortunately not. Taco gets the kill onto Vin and stairs, and it's all left up to Raven.
The alarm bot gonna call him out with the Bucky. This is impossible to do. The headshot coming out from Taco to clean it up, taking a 4th round win for the side of TT. It's just tough. The shooters are out for TT today, and they're able to pick up a lot of these early fights. A lot of the positioning. When you lose that valuable util, especially with a comp that's so interesting like this KC comp, it's kind of difficult for you to make something happen, especially those retakes, without having an initiator that can give you kind of that advantage on the fight. I mean, you have the fade, but it's mostly just information gathering. Breach stun coming out.
Chamber up, getting pulled out here, but they have just opted to ignore that, going B instead. But there's only Raven within. Here comes the hit. Diego coming out with the raise last
Showstopper.
Thank you. And the door gets open, but no shot. The open blind is so good at just stopping that reflex from getting a pick, and we do see alarm bot towards Link. Going to spot someone, and Hat TP's out to get info in towards A main. Spots too, I believe.
This is just so hard again for this retake without this util in order to take these fights. Raven.
Reflex does get the first pick on high C, but Diego trades it out immediately into Raven. Will he get another? Yes, he does. It is currently 4v3 in numbers in favor of Twice here. How successful? Nade comes out, does do some damage onto Sog here. Notes someone towards Link. And they are so worried about it. They can't get this defense through. They're just so worried. Diego gets a third. Hat gets on the reflex. And Diego with the 4th. Beautiful side take and side hold from Twice, bringing them to 5-round wins.
Absolutely. This is looking like a dominant showing as Raven's going to call for the defender-sided timeout. There's going to be a lot of things to talk about this round. There's just really, really well done on these executes to take the site. And once the site is taken, it's basically game over for this KC comp. Not going to be able to find a lot of value out of these retakes. No breach, no gecko flash, none of that. You got to really hope that you're able to stop them getting onto site in order to win these rounds on defense. It's tough. The retakes are not in their favor.
I would like to point out, like, the reason why we've seen like pro teams in VCT use the fade and like go no flashes, because the combination of Viper and Omen smokes just like segments out like all those like angles you need to watch out for. Essentially, just making it so much easier to take the sites with the smokes, right? So that's fade is essentially okay there, but KC opting for double sentinel instead it's really shown that these side retakes have been really hard for them, because the flashes they just there's none. They can't push any of the attackers off of those angles they've been holding. So I really want to see how KC will adapt their no flash comp and maybe look to play for more aggressive takes on the end instead. And we do see them looking to push towards Mount here. It's going to be a 3v5 push. Who will come out on top?
Interesting. I like this 2-3 setup that they've got going on with the 2 sentinels holding down one side of the map, and then the rest of the team can kind of contest. But reading it absolutely perfectly. Reflex is in an insane position to maybe get some value, but the Satchel's going to take his crosshair away from the rest of the team. Lazy's going to get the pick off of Reflex, and now it's just up to Vin on site with that KJ util as 5 members of this TT team are coming in. The wingman going in with the plant, and Breach util going to clear him out. This is an incredibly difficult task. They haven't made it onto site, but KC still has to make a retake.
I was just going to Vin with the Singer here. Could do some damage. He gets the first pick onto Taco, but Imu, the spray through the smoke. The hat is here, gets the pick back onto Vin. 3v4. Gets rid of one of the mollies. Does he get a... Oh, dig onto High. Heisty gets the kill onto Woosh. Lazy onto Sog, and then Hat cleaning up with the kill onto Raven.
Really, really tough for the side of KC here. You saw that they had a stack towards the side that TT was leaning, but they read that and left instantly and ran right in to an unsuspecting Vin. Reflex almost able to catch them out, but the Raze Satchel just moved him away. He had his crosshair placement was fine, but the Raze Satchel just so hard to keep a track of. We really want to see this KC side hold down those sites and keep away from those post plants.
And we are another mountain C-take from Dice here. Will they note that Chamber is here? Flash comes out, gets immediately destroyed. Noted. Does he get the hook? Oh, but no, gets killed while mid TP and is partially taken out. Leads all Raven all by himself on the site. And here comes the side take. Well, can Raven stop this? Pops a molly.
Then not going to be able to do it.
Onto site and gets the kill onto Raven. It's another free site for the team. And here, it's just going to be another retake.
But with like 3v5, it's almost impossible. You do have the 2 ults. You have the Raze and the Fade ult, but you're not going to be able to find a lot of value out of that. All of the players are playing off site for the side of TT. They're just so confident in their mollies, their nades, their aftershock. So much util to stall.
I think they're also just confident that KC is probably on somewhat of a weaker buy, or they already done some damage, and they're probably just gonna play farther away to keep KC on their toes. And it looks like it's probably just gonna be safe from KC here.
Man, it's just tough.
Wish is getting chased down.
TT chasing, looking to get a kill. Not gonna be able to stay completely away, and it looks like actually big numbers coming out from the side of KC, taking away a lot of guns. But I mean, the econ advantage is obviously heavily TT sided.
The econ is so far in favor of Twice here that those kills, yes, you take two, 3 rifles out of their hands, but they're kind of just so well stocked up that they can just buy again. And Raven, the only surviving member of the team, is going to be forced to basically just full buy into this round. Saving does diminish what credits you do get in the next round. It looks like there's going to be a default here with Raven and Reflex. Reflex and Saw looking to push out B main. Reflex just does TP away after getting rid of the KJ turret, and I think they're worried about a C hit here. Diego and Hat have made a lot of noise drawing over rotates, but
the spike is leaning towards that A side though. Really, it's completely empty. Raven sitting really far back here. He's gonna peek it, but just jump peeking for the time being. He's gonna catch the one. An unfortunate jump as he's gonna take a lot of damage there. Him with the hero rifle. Lazy gonna send in the wingman, go for the plant. It is smoked off.
Try and maybe stop the plant here. Does he get the stop? He does.
This is what you want to see. You don't want to be in this post plant position.
Oh, but here we can see the breach ult. Oh no, but the KJ ult instead comes out, basically forcing the entire team off of the site, and they are gonna have to play the retake here.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate with so many round wins and so many ults available for them. Being able to reset and retake that site, especially with the gun advantage, it's just real difficult. Now, a retake coming in. Hat gonna get the first pick. Gonna get traded out by Sog here. The flash gonna come out. Taco getting another. Bringing it down to just 2. March
does get the pick on the tree. Oh, and Reflex gets one more pick onto high C and out in main. It's a 2v2. Can KC do this? It is doing possible, but Lazy says no. I'm gonna get the pick and gets the second pick as well, bringing this to 8-1 in favor of Twice. Twice have really known what they're doing on this Lotus map, as you can tell. They picked it for a reason. and they're doing quite well on it.
Absolutely. Just being able to take the site has been so valuable for them. They have so much util to aggress and to take and to push their opponents off of the site, and they know what it's going to take to win this map, get that bomb down, no matter what. It's looking tough, as we're going to see a 4-1 stack once again, but it looks like it's going to be the wrong call.
Yeah, I think KC are getting a little desperate here. They're looking for these aggressive plays, but I think they aren't reading twice right. Twice have sort of avoided all these like aggressive pushouts from the defense.
Absolutely. Just gonna slowly walk up. They've made a lot of noise, a lot of gunshots. I think they do know. KC does know. There's a lot of pressure over here on the C site as we see 3 members rotated here. But opting to back out. Double taps. Backing off.
I think they're just looking to fake that noise. They know that any pressure they put towards any side, it's gonna have to draw out rotates because AC is on a weak buy here. Never mind, they bought up. I'm wrong.
Maybe looking to push this B site. We see a lot of pressure here. But Rav could go big here in A link.
40 seconds left. Bomb's still in their spawn, so whatever site they're gonna look towards next, it's probably gonna be a site they're gonna have to take here because time is dwindling down, and it's probably looking towards the B site, if anything.
Yeah.
Or no.
Maybe A.
No, looks like they're going A.
TP's
Yes.
coming out onto the C site just to kind of clear it out. It's going to be faked. As Twice is looking and leaning towards this A side. Rav
they only have
is going to be the first
seconds.
one. Ravin
so
going to have to be able to do something here from this A link position.
If we can get the kill onto Wingman here to stop the plant, I think it's worth. But dude, does he get the kill? Unfortunately not. Plant goes down. Oh, but Saw gets 2 kills with the Raze ult, and it is a 3v4 in favor of KC.
3 ultimate's gonna come out, but look at this breach ult. Waited perfectly to the last second. They still have sight of the bomb. Lazy wrapping behind as well is gonna be tough. Saw gonna pick up his 3rd on the round. Thrash is coming out, but he's gonna get run down by Sog. Lazy's gonna take him out. Taco taking out Vin as well, holding down the bomb, and get the 3rd on the round. An insane amount of ults in that round. What we had on the attacker side, we had a breach ult and a gecko ult, but on the defense, they did Fade, they did Omen, they did KJ, they did Raze. Like, it was every single ult almost, and it just wasn't enough. They popped all of their util, and it just wasn't able to clear out these attackers in those post lamp positions.
So it's KC back onto a safe here. Let's see if they can maybe get a thrifty out. You know, Twice can do it, so can they. But immediately pressure is thrown towards A main here, throwing out those fast rotates as we can see from KC. Oh, but Saw gets the first kill. Diego here, great first pick. But Hat trades it out immediately. Saw just stuck by box, and KJ's turret does know the flank, but not how many. Vin gets spotted out. Will he? High C looking to take a fight here. Gets tagged, but right now Twice are just picked. Oh, but
Reflex
they don't know about
with a
Reflex.
great trade here. That double angle is crazy. Reflex getting the 2nd. The bomb is stuck here now. Gonna get a 3rd on the round. Incredible value out of this, and now Hat is alone in a 1v2. Of course, Fade is down low health, but numbers, if they can get guns and figure out where this bomb is being planted, that Omen util, he's only going to have 1 smoke here. Opting to go to the C site. It is completely free.
I think if KC cannot give the 1v1s here, I think they can win this, because if they just double swing, Hat is going to have to choose one person to take the shot to shoot at first.
Absolutely.
It looks like that's
looking to isolate this. It looks like Fade doesn't even have a gun. Opting to stick with that sheriff.
Fade gave her Vandals to Raven because she Woosh knew that he was on a lower health state here. But will they read that Hat has moved towards the back to CT with where this hub spawn was planted? I don't think so. And he gets
isolating the 1v1.
Is this an ace
now
for
a
Hat
1v1?
Oh, And it is an ace for the hat is here, and that brings double taps, team twice, up to 10 rounds before last round of the half.
Absolutely a huge ace clutch coming out on the side of Hat on TT. Topping the leaderboards with 14 and 5, an insane stat line at the moment. It's just incredible. That push out from Reflex and Whoosh, I believe, was really, really valuable. Able to get 3, maybe even 4, I'm not even sure if I remember, of these attackers. But being able to isolate the 1v1s was what essentially won them that round.
Oh,
Rav
and
gonna get the
Raving is the
first
first
pick.
pick. Especially onto the Rays as well. They have no double taps. They don't have their entry duelist anymore, but they're still just gonna go for it. Omen Line comes out. Oh, I'm using Odin from Vin. Did he get the first one? Yes, he does. Look, do they know he's here? Gets
Ooh.
2. Gets 2 more, brings his kill count up to 3. But Taco does trade back into Reflect, and it is a 1v4 in favor of Taco. Not in favor of Taco, against Taco. How Spike is also on site, so how is Taco deciding to play this step?
This
Doesn't
is an
play the door
incredible,
here.
difficult round to try to make happen. Just running
Yes,
it down. Vin gonna opt to swing. Taco, a nutty little one tap. Absolutely takes his head off there. A little overzealous with the Odin. But Taco has a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it. 45 seconds on the clock.
He's super. Well, I think just worried about that someone else on KC could have made their way into being main here. He's checking all these corners. You know, he doesn't have any info where they are. He knows the Fade was on site. He heard the eye. But that's all the that's all about all the info he got so far.
Gonna see if he can make something happen here as he's clearing every single corner. So diligent here. Has a little bit of util to try to make this happen, but now his position is known. All 3 crosshairs aiming right at him. Gonna be able to isolate one, but not gonna be able to finish it off. Second round is gonna come out for the side of KC. A little bit of BM. We're gonna see how this is gonna work with the double sentinel on attack. Not really ideal, in my opinion.
Well, as you know, anything can happen. We've seen teams before come back from a 2-10 deficit in the second half, and as you know, Lotus is quite heavily attacker sided just because of all the rotations the attacking team can. But we will see a 3 stack from Twice here looking to contest for a Rebel. How
Unfortunately, that's where KC is also leaning.
So I wonder how KC is going to respond to this. Nade,
Classic
mollies will
breach
come out.
nade.
And I think KC's just giving up the space. They know they can't contest with how much with the raise nade and the Glick molly coming out. And it looks like Twice is now looking to reinforce the other sides here. But Raven we see got quite far up, but gets spotted with their alarm bot and maybe causing some panic towards Seaside for Twice. And as you can see, the smokes do come down and is drawn over 4 rotations, maybe 5. As Diego is just giving up Rebel completely. Raven is probably hearing all of this as he heard the defenders leave the B site and now is coming to his team that they've started to rotate and probably are just looking for that to take on that one defender on the A site.
Diego's going to have to go huge here. Finding out that they're coming, you see that the reinforcements are on their way. There's not a lot of time. Maybe a rotate to B could happen.
I think they're probably looking towards a B hit here through the door. Oh, but Lazy gets the first pick onto Vin. And it looks like, yeah, they're going for a B hit here. Raven gets the first kill on the high C, but Hat gets the trade back, but Reflex gets the kill on back to Hat, and Star gets a kill onto Diego on the A side. It is a 2v2. But Spike is down, so the clock is ticking, sorry.
If you want anyone in a 2v2, it's your 2 initiators to play for this retake here. Gonna have the Dizzy and a flash and maybe even a stun. Raven in a great position is gonna be able to find one, but is turning his back to Taco, who's gonna even things out in a 1v1. Reflex and Taco gonna have to duel it out. Time is ticking as Breach has a lot to clear once again. Bomb not really planted. In a good position, and Taco's gonna take Reflex's head off with an insane flick, and it's gonna go 11 rounds for the side of TT as they take this pistol round. An insanely difficult position to be in if you're the side of KC.
the awareness of Taco to just turn around with the 180 and see reflex there, just shoot his head off. Oh my, oh my.
I mean, it was a great jump up to be able to peek over, but I don't even think that sees into where the bomb was planted. Playing all the way back into C Link is kind of a gamble there, and it just didn't pay off for the side of Reflex. Not gonna be able to find the pick.
And it looks like, yeah, Casey has to force up here if they want to get something out of it. They do not want to play on that match point constantly. And I think Twice also knows that Casey are probably forcing it, opting to play the retake on B, not letting them get anything on the, not letting them get picked out on the side itself. Saw gets the first pick on the Lazy, but Heisey trades it back, but Reflex back onto Lazy, 3v5, but Hyatt here gets known for their shotgun plays, does get the kill onto Raven. So it is a 3v3 now, but Casey's just locked out of the site. It looks like they are the defenders now, trying to get back into the site to stop the defuse.
Both players stuck by the C's.
Oh,
Gonna even things out, but now a 1v2. Tough take for Taco. Gonna have to isolate some 1v1s here. Opted to go with the Sheriff. Takes off the head of Whoosh. Clock is ticking. Vin playing so patiently. So patiently. And gonna be able to get the kill as well. A third round on the board finally for the side of KC.
I think, yeah, that gamble had to work for them, or else they would have been down 2-12. And I think it's paid off. Now KC's economy is in a much better state. All of them being able to buy something. Vin looking just to use that Spectre again, as he knows that Twice is on a very poor buy here, with only basically a bunch of chairs and one classic. It looks like they're looking to push out B here. 5 stack, run it down.
Gonna catch Vin.
Does he get the first? Vin gets 2 before he's taken down by Taco, but they do hear the C hit here. How are they gonna respond? Door open.
The fault line in the open door. Diego gonna get one. Raven to even it out. High C, get the third. Is now a 1v2. Unfortunately, as High C falls, Diego gonna have to go up against 2, but Sog is low on this attacker side as they're gonna plant the bomb over here on the C site. Diego
also
has to isolate 1v1s here.
It's also got the Spectre, I think one of the best guns from running gun. So if he wants to shake things up here, I definitely think he can do it. He still also has his nade, so he can use it to clear out some of the corners. He does not want to face check.
Gonna get caught out by that chamber trip.
And
the nade's gonna come out
so low.
That nade's found insane value, but Reflex.
Oh, dig onto Reflex. They're so low. Gets the first kill.
The judge, though, could go huge. Diego's going to take him out and get a 12th round on the board.
It is a thrifty from the side of Twice, and it is a round win, bringing Twice to match point. Oh
Insane.
my god.
Wow.
What a really well played round by Twice here.
These 2v1s, every single one of these 2v1s, it's just been insane to see the isolation that's going on for the clutch gods over here on the side of TT. Being able to isolate these players and find those duels, pushing and prodding different parts of the site. Absolute insanity. I'm sure
by now it's in shambles. If you take a look, just stingers and shares for the side of KC, with only one rifle coming from Vin, and Twice here opting for the 5 phantoms. They know they have this gun advantage. They want to spray these guys down from far away.
Vin gonna break the KJ util. Just kind of poking and prodding.
He does bring out some of the rotates because High C is now aware, and yeah, Vin gets spotted, and so there's one on the C side. But as you can see, the majority of players still leaning towards A, but we do see the spike looking to move back towards C.
So much space being taken right now, all the way into their spawn.
Well, does Hat know that they are just on the other side of this wall?
I think so. He's got his paranoia. Paranoia is just ready to throw. Could get plenty of value, but I'm not sure if anyone's there to get the pick.
Raven gets Vin gets the pick onto High C here, and I think it's just a free C site. he's gained so much space on over towards the C site that immediate rotates coming in from both Woosh and the rest of his team. And Woosh is also 2 away from his ult. He gets the plant down, he's gonna be 1 away. And I think if we get 1 more kill, I think this is a round win for the side of KC. But hey, I don't want to cast first. Hey, I've done it before and I don't want to do it again.
I think you've already done it. As we're gonna see a lot of hard retake gonna come through. Taco gonna get the first, Basog with the ult. Not gonna find any value, but the paranoia is gonna come through. Sog not able to pick it up, and Hat is gonna be able to take numbers advantage away for the side of TT on this retake. Diego with the first. Whoosh. Not gonna be able to get it done. All down to Reflex now in a 1v4 to win the map. Or keep the map alive at least. Blind out of his mind, and Taco's gonna clean it up. A commanding victory for the side of Double Taps here on the first map of Lotus.
Yeah, I maybe spoke too soon. I'm so sorry, KC. Whoopsies. But hey, it was twice his map pick, so I think they showed why they are pretty good at this damn map. 13-3 victory.
Pretty dominant here. If you look at this leaderboard, you had Vin, Reflex, and Sog who were able to kind of keep up on kills, but I think the problem was just the insane push take capability from a double initiator map and not being able to retake themselves, just having the inferior util for the job.
Yeah, I really think it wasn't more of a skill issue. It just came down to a compositional issue, in my opinion. Where with Casey having no flashes, it made these side takes and those retakes really hard for them. But if I was Casey, I wouldn't be too upset about this. It was twice this map, and they showed why they chose it. They are dominant on this map. But next up, I believe, is Icebox, KC's map, and we'll see if they can do the same thing that twice did to them. And we'll be back in 5 minutes, so don't go too far. We'll see you real soon. Bye bye.
We're sailing towards the ending. We're sailing towards the ending. We're sailing towards the
welcome back VDC after a short break and a phenomenal showing on the side of TT Twice, taking a very strong map 1 on their map Pit with Lotus. Andy, what kind of things were you seeing there from TT that was very successful and led to their victory?
Well, I think they knew that they had a double initiator comp in which excelled at like fast side takes and hard side takes, right? So they sort of just abused. I think they sort of just played to its strengths where they were looking to just take site fast and hard with the race flash in, the gecko flash, the breach flash. It's like if you're on site, I think you ain't seeing much from the moment the site hit happens from Twice.
Absolutely. All you kind of really have to do is take that bomb down and exploit AC not really having a lot of retake capability, no flash initiator there on that comp. And I mean, if you looked at their comp, they had a Gecko Molly, they had KJ Mollies, they had a Breach Aftershock, they had so much util, raised nades, all this stuff to stall and keep people off of the bomb. They really just took sight and ran with it. So what kind of things are you looking to see from KC to try to be able to take Icebox? What do you think?
Well, I really think that if KC want to be successful in Icebox, they really, first of all, they need someone on that Viper. Viper, I think, is a must pick on that map in my opinion. Though one may have by saying that as I'm a Viper main.
Yeah, you are pretty
generally-
biased. We all know, Andy. You love your Viper.
But I think everyone can agree here that Viper is generally a must pick, and thus you're going with a Harbor and then maybe another Smokes comp, I guess, on this map.
Yeah,
We've seen
the
some-
Viper would be a big switch up to see a lot more stall on the side of KC for their defenses as they're starting off on this decent side. I think as we're getting both teams ready, we're gonna jump into some agent select and we'll see what kind of compositions are gonna come out of both sides here.
I do think though that Reflex may they may put Reflex on that chamber still because I think he was a member that was fragging out constantly for the side of KC. So I think keeping Reflex on the chamber is probably a good call. But I do want to switch it up and maybe get some sort of flash in there, like either a Gecko or KO or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Icebox is known to be one of those maps where sometimes you might not play a flash initiator, but the Gecko is kind of becoming that thing. I think we're gonna get started here with our agent selects. We'll see. Enough with the speculation. Let's see what each team is bringing to the table here on map 2 Icebox. We see the Jet and the Sage instantly coming out from Reflex and Vin on the side of KC. That's pretty interesting. Not gonna see the chamber here. It saw a lot of value on the last map, but maybe putting Reflex in a position where he can go in a little bit harder, get a little bit of stall going from the other members of your team.
I think this may be a situation in KC where we have like duelist players who only play Jet and or Raze, not like both. So like, you know, on NRG for example, like even one famous Jet player, but doesn't really play Raze, right? Victor loves his Raze, so I think this can be the same situation to see here. But so Sog is probably moving into the smokes to take over, but maybe moving into the Sentinel instead, as we do see some agent swaps here. Raven will actually be taking over the Viper here with Sog on Sentinel, which he has. Sorry, I don't think he's played the Sentinel before. Maybe he has. I don't know. And then Whoosh back on the Initiator.
Again, another double Sentinel comp coming out on the side of KC. This time, not the Chamber, but the Sage. Kind of a normal pick. Not gonna lie, but again, no flashes. And not even an Omen flash this time for the side of
But
KC.
I will say though, Twice also doesn't have a flash, so these teams both don't have flashes, so they're on even playing fields here of really just dry peeking through and relying on the smokes to cut off angles for them. And as you also see that Twice also has opted for, I think, what is a comp that's popularized by Loud, is the double smokes, Viper Harbor.
Viper Harbor is an interesting comp to be sure. I think the Harbor is really interesting because although he is similar to Viper in that he has those walls, his walls are more aggressive and seem to be played almost more like an initiator, being able to slow down the opponents. And I mean, it's not really universal like the Viper is. So you see a very different playstyle coming out of Vipers and Harbors. So getting a mix of that here today on the side of TT. As we're going to get things started off, the side of TT pushing A. Icebox can sometimes become kind of an A site push simulator. Reflex gonna take the first battle, but gonna get pushed off there by a little bit of a dart and a cascade coming from the harbor. Gonna tuck in this corner with the Viper wall, but it's not gonna last forever. Insane, 2, he's gonna pick up the third with the dash, gets away, very low, gets the fourth. High C, low, and is gonna get the ace.
Oh.
I think Vin was just trying to jump away to not steal the ace. Incredible first round for Reflex.
What a rebound from KC. Immediate first round pistol ace from Reflex here with the share, showing that he is the fragger of the team, and they won't go down without a fight, you know?
Absolutely. If you were feeling unconfident after that first map, that's the way to bring the energy back. Reflex taking that initiative, putting it on his shoulders, acing out the round, and just, I mean, you saw Vin. Vin didn't even want to take the kill. Was just straight up baiting for it. It was great. Gonna see a mid push coming out here. An interesting harbor wall. But you've got a lot of people contesting it on the side of KC. Sog even gonna sneak up behind them. Can't find the pick on the Taco. Diego and Whoosh gonna get traded out. Plant starting on the A site here. And Sog's gonna pick up another. This is tough for the side of TT. A 4v2. Your Viper is low. Gonna swing out. Down to 1 Taco. And Sog's gonna clean it up. Really just a good hold. What an interesting push.
I do think Twice did get what they wanted though. They wanted that spike plant. They wanted to get that spike money, that money from the spike plant, and they did get it. And they did end up taking Reflex down. So not the worst thing, not the worst eco, but definitely I think they were hoping to take away more guns. But I think both teams got the main goals they wanted. KC getting the bonus, winning the anti eco, and Twice getting that plant money down, and maybe one gun taken away.
Yeah. Definitely just trying to set themselves up here for this buy round, as they're going to have the superior firepower. Going to see what kind of a push they can take against this team. Really a different feel on this map than the last. And
Yeah,
it looks like a little bit of an A push here. We've got
we're looking.
a lot of TT players lined up here. A little bit of a slow. Maybe waiting to see if KC will switch things up, push on their lower buy, but KC biding their time, waiting it out, throwing a little bit of util. The Viper wall is going to come out on the side of TT on that B site, but the majority of players, including the Spike, is going to be on that A side. Not drawing out any rotations, though, as Diego's going to find the first pick on the Vin. Reflex could go big on this position here that he has. A cove to get the plant. Diego gonna take out Reflex. I cursed him. My bad.
I will gotta say that I think double KC wasn't really sure where they were gonna hit. The advantage of like the double smokes is Viper can just default her wall to one side the entire time, and they won't know if they're hitting there or not because they have Harbor to back her up on the other side.
I think it was supposed to be a fake, right? Like they were trying to throw, because they threw the dart from their spawn over to B to try to draw over those rotates, but I mean it didn't work, but it didn't matter. They were just able to get the picks anyways. This wall is gonna make it so difficult, as he's gonna get his fireman down. Raven not gonna be able to pick one up. Taco, a flawless round if everyone can escape the spike here, and they will. A flawless round, gonna bring all of those guns into the next round. A great recovery from the side of TT.
I will gotta say this was KC's bonus, and they were trying to maybe go over a few guns. Unfortunately, they didn't. But no worries. KC are still able to buy this round, and I want to see how they're gonna swap it up because they've played the same setup so far for the past couple of rounds.
Reflex opting to pick the op, pun intended.
You're so funny.
I am funny, thank you. We're gonna see this op on this angle, but the wall, the cascade, is actually gonna block off all of that vision. He's not gonna be able to get anything really, just gonna wait for somebody to peek out.
That's the power of double smokes. You can just smoke off what you want when you want.
Yeah. A little bit of a default coming from the side of double taps as they've got the spike over towards the A side, but two players working up mid. The Cove's gonna come out, a tap on the spike to see if he can draw out any util, but it doesn't really look like they're biting. Saw gonna get the first pick down mid underneath tube onto high C. That KJ util is down on the attacker's side, and they're gonna opt to maybe rotate over to this B side, but they've got to go past a Viper and a KJ. Raven gonna get the spray through the smoke. Now down to a 3v5. Oh, this wall from Vin could be dirty. Reflex gonna get one after Lazy gets the pick onto Raven. Vin, again, on a Grim wall here, has a definite height advantage. Being able to see even onto default there. Reflex with the op. Taking some pot shots.
I think this is
Slow work.
a save call from Twice.
Might
It's a
be.
4v2. Time is ticking down. I don't think you have the util and
10 seconds
just to
left.
take sight. I think it's better you save here and bring some guns into the next round.
Yeah. You're able to take one away, but I mean, it was just tough. Getting that first pick underneath tube, high C got a lot of value. And Saw got a lot of value from that pick onto high C, and then it just they rotated right into the worst site to take. A KJ util setup and a Viper. Too much stall.
I will gotta say that Hat didn't miss her wall. Like it didn't cover like the top part of Nest on B side, so that maybe also could have been like a really big factor for them. But no worries. The Twice here back on one more full buy before they have to go to save if they lose this round.
Dart's gonna catch a reflex. Was gonna try to go for a really aggressive op angle here. Not gonna be able to get the pick. As the opposing jet just dashes out of harm's way. The same Cove is gonna come up as Harbor is gonna tap that spike. The peek in with the shorty, not gonna find any value. Reflex finds one. Lazy gonna take out the Sova. Not gonna be able to pick up that pick. Raven does find high C. As Hat is all the way in on site. Lazy gonna try to get the plant down here. But spammed through last second by Sog. Now in a 2v3. Bombs going down. An insane shot from Vin. Gonna put it down to a 1v3. Hat has a lot to do, but not gonna be able to take out anymore.
I think we're seeing a repeat of just of a Lotus pack onto Icebox now. KC now the ones in the lead with a 4-1 lead over Twice, and I think they're showing why this is their map pick. They're super dominant so far with these retakes.
Absolutely. They don't really have the flash util, the aggressive initiator util to try to do hard retakes, but they're getting so much value out of the KJ, the slows coming out from the Sage, the Viper util, being able to stall and keep the attackers off of the site for so long, as Raven with his op is kind of being a menace. Not really going to find a lot of value as all of the attackers are going to the A site and he is stuck with that op on B. We're going to see the ult come out from the Harbor. Raven going to try to keep them off with that shotgun. Going to get the first. And now we're down to a 3v2 in favor of KC here as they wrapped all the way behind and flanked. A lot to do for Hat. Going to get the first. Couple shots off from Vin just with the stinger in the classic. Gonna isolate the fights. He knows that they're low. Picking up a judge. Interesting. The bomb is down. Vin looking to push forward here. And the judge is gonna do it. Hat with the clutch to bring 2 on the board.
God. Hey, Hat loves their judges, so she's showing why. That nerf that came in a while ago did nothing. Those judge users are still feasting with how good that gun is.
I think honestly the victor here was whoever on Riot decided to change the self here for Sage, because Vin was not able to heal enough to save him from that distant long fadeaway with the judge. It's just so oppressive.
Anti-battle
Insane,
stage.
insane play. All right, Rav looking to sit here on the A site again with this op or reflex, sorry, with the op. Gonna get jiggled and not gonna be able to connect. Second shot going wide, not gonna connect. But again, this KJ util and now 4 defenders leaning over towards this B side. TT has a lot to do. Vin sneaking up from behind, gonna break the turret, opt to back out there. But look at the Viper hat all the way up on A site and is alone. And they're gonna take that opportunity. Double taps is gonna rotate all the way around and run it all the way back to A. Defenders are gonna start moving their way as well, but this ult is gonna keep them off. Reflex taking a shot in the dark, not gonna be able to find anybody. Diego getting the first off onto Sog. And Hat and Raven are gonna be doing the most spray and pray I've ever seen. Reflex gonna find one. Lazy and Taco finding their own. Vin on the flank as High C pulls out the ult. It's now a 1v2.
Spike is planted though, so this is delaying enough time for High C to reposition here. Maybe get a pick onto one of them.
Rez gonna come out, but Vin's gonna get caught out. High C gets the second, but Reflex, good to hold, clean things out. Close, a very close and a great effort on the side of TT. Wow, just superior firepower coming out from KC that round. Interesting to see the way that the map was manipulated there that round.
Yeah, I think KC they're honestly keeping the op on the move. They Twice isn't able to guess where these ops are. And yes, well, Reflex hasn't been able to get a opening pick yet. I don't think so. He has at least. That op pressure is just it's so much that Twice have opted just to not hit the site where they op is most of the time.
And it looks like they are gonna do it again. Vin gonna get a pop shot under tube. Gonna take down a lot of these members of TT. Gonna take away a lot of health there. Vin gonna heal himself up. The benefit of having that Sage. As it looks like TT is gonna decide to slow walk their way up this A side. The Sova drone gonna catch him out. But a Sova drone coming from TT as well. This judge not going to be able to find value as he's tagged by the drone. Going to have to back out here. Just trying to play gatekeeper on this A site. Long range judge shots. Not going to be able to do enough, but does enough damage to get a trade from his teammates. Now Taco in the 1v4. Bringing it down to 1v3. Isolating those duels. Vin is low, but Reflex on this angle with the op. The jump peek. Not going to spot him. As he's gonna opt to take the bomb and run.
I think Casey's got to know that he's long gone by now. Maybe they didn't hear him run, but
30 seconds left.
with 3 of them being on the site and not hearing the plan with like 20 seconds left, they gotta know. But what is this?
What is Taco doing? This might be tough. He's opting to go back towards A. 2 members of KC are still holding on to the site. It looks like there's gonna be a save. Opting for the save. Too many unknowns.
Definitely saving here. I thought he was gonna go for the B plan and maybe flush out a 1v3.
Well, he had the timing, but I mean, I think they assumed that the rotation was heard. KC was maybe opting to stick together, not to give any more 1v1s, not give them another opportunity to clutch, as we've seen come out from TT tonight. They are capable of doing it.
I will say this though, KC does have the really defender side of team with the double sentinel, being able to just play a lot of delay with those stage slows and KJ mollies. So I think they might struggle on attack a little bit, but we will. That's in the future. Right now it is late. Twice going for a mid hit.
Diego gonna get the first pick off to Vin. Sog could go huge with this position here though, but is not gonna be able to get more than one. Reflex gonna find one in main as well. As Diego's pushing up from behind, the knives not gonna be able to connect. Reflex pushed out of position there, but the bomb is not on site. A 3v2 for the side of KC, or for double taps, excuse me. And the op is going to miss. Raven in a tricky spot now, being held down by that op. Gonna kind of hold him in position. As the bomb is running all the way to A, actually. 2v2. Gonna work up mid, it looks like. Diego getting scanned by the dart. I think on purpose. Whoosh, gonna get the tap. Now, High C with a lot to do in a 1v2. Gonna opt to try to pick up behind them, but are they aware? Are they aware? Both players sitting over in Snowman. And High C, 20 seconds left on the clock. They're not moving. High C's going to be able to get this plant and maybe even get an interesting post-plant position here as it's planted more for screens. Going to opt to jumping up onto Nest here. Going to swing. Sees both of them. Going to get a few pop shots off. Raven down, hit a couple of times. Going to break the alarm bot. Both players on this retake opted to push up towards rafters. Jumping down together, clearing things. Gonna break the nade. Icy has to isolate these fights, but Raven's gonna catch him. Not aware. Really well played by the side of KC to win this 7th round.
Yeah, I think that's a great round win for KC here, and it brings them to 7-2. I think we might see a repeat of what the first half of Lotus is going to look like. Maybe a 10 to half, but time will only tell if Twice can adapt to how KC are playing their defense. I do want to point out, I think that the rounds that Twice have won are the rounds where they've been able to get a pick and sort of just mind game their way with KC, but let's see what they pull out here. Heavy mid presence from both teams.
TT likes to push up this mid when they're on the lower buy here. Diego gonna find the pick into onto Vin. Get that wall and those slows off the table here for the side of KC, as we're seeing 3 players from this TT side pushing towards this B site. The wall's gonna kind of give away the position, and we see the rotates coming from the Viper. The Cove gonna come out, but the mollies are going to be too much. The plan is gonna go down, but at the cost of Lazy. Reflex with the jump peek, gonna get spotted by these attackers in mid. Defender KJ ult's gonna come out as they're gonna look to try to push off.
No Sova ult in response. They're just gonna give up the site and use the Sova ult for post plant instead.
I like this play. You can stay safe. They let your team work up. Gonna get tags onto 2 different players. Not gonna be able to find the pick, but it is halved, and Rav's just gonna stick it the rest of the way, gaining an 8th round for the side of KC. Wow, interesting. I like the idea there to save the Sova ult for the plant for the tap, but they were able to get the half, stay alive, and then Rav got back on the bomb in his own smoke.
It looks like Twice is opting to force spy here on the second to last round. They do have the KJ and Harbor, which are great side take ults, especially on the A side. So and that's where they're leaning.
Yeah, I think they want to take these rounds away. 8-4 and 9-3 are a pretty big difference here. The ult is going to come out. Both ults going to come out. Push these defenders off and try to get a clean plant. Vin with the op is going to be able to find the first. As these ults are going to end. Now it is time for the retake on the side of KC. Sog very patiently waiting for the push-up. Gonna find the pick on the High C and mid. Lazy getting spot out by the Sova util, and the Hunter's Fury is going to be able to take him down, running right into Sog. A great retake. With that wall, makes it nigh impossible here. Taco with so much to do is going to be able to take one, but not enough. A great retake. Those ults pushed him off, but there was enough util And patience on the side of KC to retake and take a 9th round.
Yeah, it's 9-2. And I think KC showing, you know, we weren't doing so well on Lotus, which is your map pick. Now we're gonna show you why this is our map pick. We are good. We are the kings of Icebox, is probably what they're saying in their comms right now.
Absolutely. We're going to see a little bit of mid pressure once again coming on the side of TT. But Finn again with his op is going to just find one. Raven pushing up, finding a second. Going to get traded out by Diego. But now it's the op through the cloudburst is Vin is going to take numbers heavily on the side of KC. A 4v2. Lazy and High C have a lot to do. Getting spot out by the Sova drone. Gonna tap the bomb. Gonna stick to plant inside that cove. Taking a little bit of damage. The res coming out.
See the res.
Now it's a 5v2. This retake could close out the round. Reflex taking it down to just one. Lazy gets a pick, but gets low. And KC, a dominant showing. Another 10-2 half. This time favoring KC on their map pick.
Is history gonna repeat itself? Are we gonna see another 13-3 and favorite KC this time?
Wow. Wow.
So it is now KC on attack with Twice on defense. I think Twice have a pretty good defense comp here, especially with the Harper Viper, sorry. Where they can just cycle these walls constantly and just keep like the attackers guessing like how many players are here. So Viper here, the Harbor here, you know, like who is where.
Yeah.
So the double sentinel from KC usually not so good on attack, but that Sage wall, such a massive safety boost. I don't know,
Safety net.
Safety net. Thank you for planting on the B side, which looks like where they're going to hit.
Absolutely. As we see, it looks like Sova darts are going to be traded here at the start of this first map. Taco's dart not going to find anybody, but is going to be broken right away. Clearing out the back of yellow as Reflex dashes in. This looks to be a pretty safe plant for the side of KC. But if you look, almost all 5 players are here on the side of TT to try to stop. The plant is going to go down. Numbers are going down. Raven gonna get taken out. Now we're looking at a 2v3. Players are low. Last player, one shot, Reflex with a Sheriff. Not gonna be able to find, as a 3rd round is gonna be up on the board on the side of TT.
Okay, maybe I spoke too soon about deja vu, but I think Twice played that perfectly. They knew they had to, with Viper being the only smokes, once that wall goes down, it's all hands on decks on that flood retake to stop the plant and try, and if it's already planted, to get that defuse.
Absolutely. It was a really good push and take on the site, but the quick rotate to get 5 members of the defending team over onto this B side before the bomb even got planted. Now we're looking to see an A push coming out of the side. KC, Dark gonna get broken. Diego in a very forward position with the Bucky. Could go huge here. Not gonna be able to find one. I spoke too soon. Finn's gonna get the first, Diego with the second. Whoosh taking numbers for their team. Looking to be a 3v4 retake.
This may be deja vu because KC lost the second half pistol round and forced up and won it. Are we gonna see that again? Paul gets the molly kill onto Lazy.
Could be a repeat of what we had last game. The Force, honestly, I like the Force here. Saw gonna bring it down to a 1v4, isolating High C, getting the second, getting the third, now in a 1v1 KJ battle. The molly not gonna be able to pop off. High C sticking this though. Asog just picks him off through the box, and an 11th round, a very expensive force up. But now we're at 11-3, 1 off of match point.
My God, it's just, I think right now it's like the teams based on the one game, based on the two maps one map we saw earlier and the current map right now, and this is a very small sample pool. So all you statisticians out there, this is not accurate data science. So please take this with a grain of salt. But I think that the teams in Mythic, they know how to play the maps they're good at, but they don't know how to play the maps they don't want to touch.
It seems like it is a very back and forth, even matchup between these two teams. As we're seeing a B push come out from the side of KC. Raven gonna get the first, catching Hat out. Working around his smokes and around that wall. Gonna get tagged up though. Whoosh is quite low there. Numbers still in favor of this attacking team, but they've rotated over every single member of this defender squad. As they're working their way back to A, this Harbor has a chance to catch one or two of these attackers out. Not gonna see him there. He's gonna opt to let the first player go, let the second player go to stop the plant. Reflex with the first, Lazy with the second. Gonna pick up another reflex himself, but Lazy doing work over here. He was able to make it slip past the attackers as they ran right past. Reflex, though, gonna tag him down and get him through the wall, picking up his third on the round. Taco takes one, but not before getting traded out. It is now match point for the side of KC as it is 12-3. An interesting match that we've seen kind of flip-floppy from the last match. Wow. Money broken on both sides here. We're going to see a bit of a stronger vibe from KC. But if you're double taps, you kind of have to put it all on the line here as it's match point, 12-3. The Dart going to be able to tag a few. But this aggressive push coming in from Vin as he's going to plant the bomb. And Reflex going to be able to catch the first. Opting to plant a little bit safer underneath the two, but is going to be spammed through a little bit. A 5v4. Lazy with the big flank. Going to be able to take out one, but not before getting low. Now a 2v4. Almost impossible for this defender side. And now Lazy with 5 HP and a Bulldog. Not going to be able to make a miracle happen today. 13-3 for the side of KC. GG, well played for both these teams. As we're now 1-1 on the series.
Oh wow. We just sort of flip things around. 13-3 for Twice on their map pick Lotus, and 13-3 for KC on their map picks of Icebox. I think these teams like swapping, they're keeping things very symmetrical, I must say.
Absolutely. Both teams showing that they're dominant on their map pick and why they chose it. But I mean, what a great performance from both teams. We saw aces come out from multiple players tonight. Reflex with the pistol ace, and I believe it was a Hat with another ace on the first map.
A Lotus, yeah, an Omen with Omen.
An absolute banger series, absolutely. We're gonna go to a quick break as we prepare for a little bit of an interview with, I believe, Vin, coming from the KC side here.
Yeah. We'll
So,
see you in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Let the sun go down. We ain't gotta sleep. We're sailing towards the ending. We're sailing towards the ending. We're sailing towards
here map 2 winner and team captain of of Lattee, Raven. Hello, Raven.
Hello. We we won.
You did win, in fact. You did decide. I think you guys both decided to, like, you know what? You made a gentleman's agreement before the game to both 13 through each other.
You know,
You know?
we're still up head to head against double taps. It's
Fair
not.
enough.
It's not what we wanted. But map two is good. To say the least.
Absolutely. It was a phenomenal showing there on Icebox. I just wanted to ask a few questions. The first one, what kind of, and we were talking off screen here, but what was kind of the idea behind the composition that you had with the double sentinel going into Lotus?
Well, I mean, we've won a lot on Lotus, and in the past, we played Viper over Killjoy. But that didn't really work out for us very well, despite a lot of wins on Icebox, or not Icebox, on Lotus. We really felt like we weren't getting value out of the Viper. And with our roles changing for like the 8th time this season, we put Vin on Killjoy instead of the Viper. I feel pretty good about that comp. I think the Killjoy's chamber is not working to change.
Yeah.
So you like the double sentinel, I would say?
I like it when I have a real sentinel and then I have reflex playing the game on a character that he shoots on.
Oh, so
Absolutely. He found so much value, especially on some of those eco rounds, getting those end under kills. He was actually fire. And with someone who plays with a one-trick chamber on their team, you can find value. And I like the idea of getting creative there with the composition a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, like, a second question, what was your, like, sort of, like, okay, we can only assume you guys were tilted after coming out of map 1. I think you have said before that Lotus is your best map, and getting 13-3 on what you guys consider your best map isn't very good, right? What was your sort of thought process to be like, you know what, shake it off, we're gonna win map 2, and you won map 2 in a very dominant fashion?
Honestly, I think that we weren't super tilted. Usually tilt is a problem for some of us. I'm a culprit of that, but I think, especially like, I think the most tilted we were was like round 2. But like really, most of it was just like, after the first half, we kind of reset. We were like, hey, it's fine. We win. We won. We came back we came back 210 down in preseason on Ascent. And so we were like, you know, I think we didn't feel super, like, it wasn't like daunting, the loss, mostly. And I think we felt really good in the first half until we lost the pistol round, really close round, and that kind of cooked us for the map. We won the force round afterwards, but when it hit 12 on map 1, we were kind of just like, I said to the boys, like, hey, just reset, you know. We kind of just take fights from now on. The end of the first map was kind of us just more gearing towards the second. Going in our little break between maps, I was thinking, you know, it's kind of the least tilted I've honestly felt after getting stomped on a map. I was kind of just dumbfounded on how we were losing so many rounds. I felt mostly it was just us like individually not showing up. And so going into map 2, I think it was, you know, we switched comps last minute on Icebox.
Yeah, we saw that in the map select or the agent select.
We were like, oh, you know, Reflex instantly locked in, like, Reflex and Vin instantly locked in, and you guys were, like, hovering, and then I think it was, like, whoosh on the Viper, and then somehow you became the Viper, and we're like,
yeah, we had, it was a kind of a toss-up between me, Sog, and whoosh on Viper, and then depending, we would play the other 2 roles. But yeah, I mean, I think that Icebox, we got off to a good start. I don't even think, like, the vibe was so much better, like, after the first few rounds, you know. I think we were really focused in map 1, and we got blown out. And map 2, we we kind of cooled down a little bit. You know, I think our comms didn't really change very much. There wasn't a lot of tilt. I just think that overall we just stopped being bums and started shooting back on the on the second map. Because map 1 was a lot of thrown man advantage situations.
Absolutely.
Where we weren't hitting our shots.
I mean, it was a phenomenal showing, and I mean, what better way to flip the mental and kind of the whole vibe of a situation than Reflex going crazy with that pistol round ace? I mean, that's the way to start off a map, right?
It is, man. It was actually, we're mid round and he takes the first fight, doesn't win it, just dashes back. He peeks through my wall and gets the first 3, and I was filled with like relief. I felt euphoric. I was just like, man, we're back. Cause you know, Reflex is clearly our best player. You know, it was really difficult. Like, I think map 1 was like the first map where all of us were just getting, like, we were just losing more fights than we were winning, all of us. And that was, I think, just kind of weird to see from Reflex. You know, there was a couple rounds where he lost like opening pick, and you know, I could tell there was a little bit of like frustration there, which I haven't seen a lot of from him this season. He's been pretty stellar as a teammate and as a player. But yeah, beginning map 2 with an ace from him, I think really relaxed us a bit. A lot of rounds on map 1 went down to like 1v1s or 2v1s that we'd lose. So having our first round on Icebox be like instantly we lose like one player while Reflex is acing, like having it be not even a close round was like a breath of relief.
Absolutely. That kind of turns the tide there. Well, we don't want to take up too much of your guys' night. It was a fantastic showing from both Double Taps and KC. A great map day. Going 1-1, double stomps. Raven, how do you feel going after this? How do you feel?
I feel a lot better than if you'd asked me after map 1. I honestly think there's not a lot of problems. I didn't see a lot of different problems today. There were a couple big problems, but I feel really optimistic about us going ahead in the season.
Great.
There's a lot of games left.
Great. You love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for VDC. Andy Valorant's gonna just send us off.
All right, thanks for watching tonight. Tomorrow, this is our second week of VDC content. We have a full week of content for you. Tomorrow we have L7 Yahtzee versus LG Red Rose in the Apprentice tier. So make sure to tune in for that tomorrow. And on Friday we have PN Scorpius versus BTX Tempest as well. So got a full week of media for you ahead. But other than that, I think we're done for the night.
All right.
See you later.
Thank you, Raven.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody in VDC.
Bye-bye.